If I give somebody in our community or another YouTuber something, it's a gift. That's all it is. It's a gift. It's not a way for me to win them over as friends. It's not a way for me to say I'm sorry for something. And it's not me saying, now you owe me or I want something in return. It's simply a gift. I don't always give gifts, and I don't really have any sort of particular formula, any particular reason, like set of criteria. Sometimes the first time I get to meet somebody I've been corresponding with online in person, I may bring them something. Sometimes when I go to these rallies and I know people are going to be there, I may bring things. Sometimes I mail people stuff. Sometimes people ask me for things like range brass. I have friends that reload and they can't pick up the brass at their range. And I can pick up as much brass as I can carry. So of course I'm going to send my friends brass for reloading. I don't expect anything back. I don't even expect them to return the cost of my postage. I don't expect a thank you. Nothing. They don't have to acknowledge me on their channel or anything. It's simply from one friend to another. That's the way I work. I'm not one of these friends that keeps scores. I'm not one of these friends that says, now you owe me, any of that garbage. I don't work that way. If I send you something I paid for, then enjoy it or do whatever you want with it. I used my hard-earned money to get it, but I thought you might like it. I thought it might be useful. Or it could be a gag gift just as a joke. If you throw it in the trash, you throw it in the trash. If you re-gift it, you re-gift it. I don't care. You don't have to use it. You don't have to review it on your channel. You don't have to do an unboxing video. You don't have to say thank you. Nothing. Really, all I care about is just knowing that the package got there and it got there in one piece. So if I ever ask, did you get this, did you get that? I want to know that it didn't get lost in the mail and that it wasn't damaged. Otherwise, I don't care what you do with it. If I give you something in person, it's the same thing. I don't care if I get a thank you or whatever. And after I walk away, if you toss it in the garbage, it's yours to do with what you want. Sometimes I'm getting something for myself. And I see something and I go, oh, so-and-so's talked about this. They'd probably like this. Or sometimes there's maybe a suggestion I have for a video. And wouldn't it go a little bit further if I maybe gave you the materials to do that? Or maybe it's something to help you do your videos. Ammo, magazines, cleaning supplies, targets, whatever. Maybe it's something to hang up in your man cave. Maybe it's something from where I live in Michigan that you don't have in where you live in other state X. And I'm just giving you a little piece of Michigan, whatever. Something like that. But that's all it is. It is not so that I get to be a moderator. It is not as compensation. It is not to get you to trust me or like me or whatever. I don't expect anything in return, and it's not like what some people do when they give gifts. And don't get me wrong, I'm not aware of anybody in our community that does that sort of thing where they give you something and expect something in return. And I love getting stuff, swag, whether you got free swag at an event that I wasn't able to go to, or whether it's swag from your channel. I love swag. I don't like things that you spent money on, unless of course, you know, you paid to have this patch made or something. But I love swag. And sometimes people give away their swag to other channels, and people on that channel will show off that swag. Well, the same thing happens in the corporate world. You have a sales rep come by and they give you a coffee mug with their company logo on there. Next thing you know, you're walking around work with the coffee logo and everybody sees that company. There's nothing wrong with that. That's business. And quite frankly, if my friends give me swag from their channel and I can wear it at a rally, then I'm representing them at that rally and I'm representing me. You get a 2-for-1. So I like swag. I really don't like getting stuff that people paid for, but I've been given stuff that people have paid for, and I appreciate what I've gotten. But for me, as far as the whole gift thing, don't anybody ever think because I gave them something that I'm ever asking for anything in return from you. It just doesn't work that way. Also, one more thing to note, there have been times where I've gone to events with multiple gifts for people that I've known were going to be there, and I've forgotten somebody's stuff, left it at home. So there's like 5 of you and I only got 4 things. Oops. Otherwise though, that's just my take on giving gifts to other people on YouTube, and I hope that I explained myself pretty well in this. Thanks for listening. Wait. That's not it. That's not all of it. I forgot to address something else as far as giving gifts go. Cash, money. I've given people cash. To be transparent, unlike some people on YouTube, full disclosure, on a few occasions, I've given people cash. Not because they asked, but because I wanted to. I thought that was a more appropriate gift. It wasn't compensation. It wasn't any one of these third-party pay-to-play subscription services like Patreon that I'm really not a big fan of. It wasn't crowdsourcing that I'm not a really big fan of. And it wasn't charity, which, if you guys don't already know by now, I'm not a very charitable person. And I don't care if that doesn't make me popular. I have my reasons for all of it. And that's the rabbit hole that I don't want to go down right now because that's for other videos. But the whole point being is I'm trying to make it quite clear that that cash was none of that. And that I do not give cash often. One time, I did write Patreon on the envelope, and I sent the person cash. They were down on their luck, and I wanted to help them out. At that point, they weren't e-begging on their live show. That came later. And at that point, I was not really inclined, despite the fact that I liked their show, was not really inclined to give them cash ever again. Another time, I gave somebody cash with a suggestion on what to do with it. And that's all it was, a suggestion. Because just like the tangible items, once you get it from me, it's not mine anymore. It's yours. Whatever you do with it, you do with it. I don't care what it is. I may not, it's not important to me. But I think I needed to add this on to just explain that, yes, I have given cash before. But I've also seen problems with doing that, and I'm not going to elaborate on it anymore. But I'm just going to say that if I give you a gift, that's all it is. And it's not meant to be anything more. I don't expect anything in return. I'm not trying to get anything off of you. The people that I associate with in the Second Amendment community, online, in the YouTube community, the only thing I've ever wanted from any of you guys is friendship or to share some knowledge. That's it. That's all it will ever be. Thanks for listening.